Welcome to the 2015 Southampton Boat Show here, as usual, at Mayflower Park. Now, Southampton is undoubtedly one of the jewels in the UK's boat show crown, and we're going to give you a whistle-stop tour of all the boats that matter at the show. This is a new Fairline Targa 53 GT. It's loosely based on the Targa 50, but there's quite a few changes. They've tweaked the hull, they've lowered the entire thing so it doesn't look quite so hulking on the pontoon. Different layout options, you can have galley up, galley down. Engine options are different, you can have 675 Volvos or 725s, and there's a 710 Cummins on the way as well. We're actually out on this boat the week before the boat show with the 725s and got just under 35 knots, which is really good going for a boat of this size. As it sits here, it's just over £1 million. We'll be testing it fully in October, so look out for the full test. This is the new Nimbus 305 Coupe. It's the entry-level model in the Nimbus Coupe range. Single D3 from Volvo, highest horsepower is 200, doing about 22 knots, single shaft, little keel, very, very solid boat. On board you get two cabins, you get a forward double and a slightly compromised sort of crawl-in curtain for privacy, double amidships, but you do get a separate bathroom. The headline news though is the fact that it's under £200,000, so you're getting that Nimbus practical design and build quality for £185,000 as you see this boat on the water. We've actually done a sea trial of this boat earlier this month, and you can see that video later on in September. This is the new Beneteau Gran Turismo 40. It's been designed by Dan Leonard and Carlo Nuvolari, hence this totally new look. It will replace the existing 38 and probably set the tone for the Gran Turismo range going forward. It's got a second generation of the air-step hull on it. We weren't totally sold on the effectiveness of the first one, but the big claims here, 3 times as much air, same speed with 700 kilograms more on board, so I'll be really interested to get out on the water and see if that works. You can have it with D4 300s or D6 370s, which will probably be a 38 knot boat. Prices start from $220,000 including VAT, but this is an American spec one with aircon and generator, so this is at $320. But you should be able to get a decent spec one for about 300 grand, and it's a hell of a lot of boat for that sort of money. This is the new English Harbour Yachts 29 Offshore, obviously very much based on the 27, which was more an inland boat. This one you can have single D3s, 140, 170 or 200 horsepower. The hull has been fettled with by Andrew Wolstenholme, and it's got a stern drive, so you can do 24 knots with a 200 horsepower engine. The layout inside is very much the same as the 27. This boat, as you see it here, is about £160,000 with a spec on the water, and really the offshore variety transforms it into a really capable weekend cruiser where you can stay on board and go a decent distance as well. Lovely looking boat as well. This is the Draco 22 RS, very much based on the 27 RS, which is over there. Same sort of principle, bow rider design, nice, safe, deep cockpit, really, really well-rounded day boat. Designed by Ed Dubois, sort of classic sports boat looks. Very simple propulsion, 115 to 200 horsepower Yamaha, single outboards. This 200 horsepower we had out on the water earlier on in the year. 45 knots, no problem through the real rough stuff. The boat's about 76 grand, so it's quite expensive for what it is, but then it is built by Windy, and it's a really nice bit of kit, nicely finished. All in all, pretty lovely package really. The Sealine C330 makes its UK debut at the Southampton Boat Show. It was launched in Dusseldorf in January, but this is the first time we've seen one in the UK. The basic principle behind it is it's the same hull, engine, stern drives as the S330, the open version, but they've moved the dinette and the galley up onto the main deck, which means you get loads more space in the cabins. And all of your living, of course, is then done on the main deck. So as you can see, it opens up completely aft, split door in the middle, Ferretti style opening door that comes up to the top of the coaming there. So you live in this whole area here. Really, really nice use of space, and actually it feels like a totally different boat. This boat's got twin D3 220s. When I had it out earlier before the boat show, and it was hitting 30 knots, no problem whatsoever. Incredibly agile, really nice hull on it. And this package here at the show, £243,000. We've actually done a full test, and there'll be a video of the sea trial going up later on in the month. This is the Princess V58 Open, and one of 2 new launches at the show from Princess. The old V58 was a very, very popular boat and did very well for the yard, so they'll be looking for this one to go great guns. There's the open version that you can see here. There's also going to be a deck saloon version. The open version is very cockpit centric, big sun pad aft, tender garage below, huge amounts of seating in that cockpit, and of course a sunroof that opens it all up. It's all about life on deck. Below there's 3 cabins, a master cabin amidships, a double VIP forward and a twin guest cabin to starboard. Engine wise, it's Volvos. You can either have 800 or 900 horsepower, and the higher powered version should do 38 knots, so Princess say. We can't wait to get it out on the water. The second of Princess's launches at the show is the S65, obviously very much inspired by the S72, so it's a sports bridge layout. So you do get the flybridge, it's just a bit smaller than that of, say, the standard 64. 4 cabins on board, engine options, 1,150 horsepower Caterpillars or 1,400 or 1,800 horsepower per side from MAN, and that bigger option will, so Princess say, get the S65 up to 38 knots. As it sits there at the show, yours for 1.5 million ex VAT. This is the Bavaria Sport 300, the new entry-level model in the Bavaria Sports Cruiser range. On board you get a convertible dinette forward that makes a double berth, you get a double cabin amidships and a separate heads compartment. The main thing about this boat though is the price, because UK dealer Clipper Marine, for the first ever boat sold, will sell you one with teak, bow thruster, single 320 horsepower petrol engine for £90,000 including VAT. That's one hell of a package. Behind me is 84 tonnes of Nordhavn 64. It may only have 425 horsepower in its John Deere engine, but at 8 knots it'll go 4,000 nautical miles. Fully customisable on the inside as well, and really, what's £2 million ex VAT when it can take you all the way around the world? Out of a very similar mould, we have the Fleming 78. Its first time it's a European show, obviously based on the 75. The difference between this and something like the Nordhavn though is that with the largest 1,200 horsepower engines, this boat will do over 20 knots. So it will take you around the world. 8 knots, it'll do 3,000 nautical miles, but you can also up the speed a bit if you want to as well. There we go, press preview day is drawing to a close. Everybody's packing up and going home after the first day, and that was a very quick tour of most of the new boats that are here at the Southampton Boat Show. We're going to be out getting more in-depth videos, reviews on these boats over the next couple of weeks, so be sure to check back to mbY.com to see for when those goes live.